Machine learning algorithms like the one powering ChatGPT, Midjourney are capable of generating various types of content, from articles and programming to art creations, but comes with a huge price tag for resources and energy consumption. So, researchers are currently exploring an alternative computing method that could be just as effective and powerful, and it is located within our own brains. So with the power of this technology, we will be able to install huge computer programs into the human brains. In today's video, we're going to discuss how are scientists gonna create biological computing using 3D cultures of human brain, which they call brain organoid. A worldwide cooperation led by academics at Johns Hopkins University outlines how brain-machine technologies constitute the newest frontier in biocomputing in a new study published on Tuesday in Frontiers, and provides a path for making it a reality. Organoid intelligence, OI, is an emerging subject in which researchers are building biological computing using 3D cultures of human brain cells, brain organoids, and brain-machine interface technologies, according to the study. These organoids share features of brain structure and function that are important in cognitive tasks, such as learning and memory. They would effectively function as biological hardware and potentially one day outform present computers running AI programs in terms of efficiency. The objective of OI is to leverage the power of the biological system to progress the field of life sciences, bioengineering, and computer science. A Johns Hopkins University researcher and article author in an email to Motherboard. And I'm quoting, "If we look at how efficiently the human brain operates in the processing of information, learning, etc., it is tempting to translate and model that to have a system which will work faster than silicon computers, because we cannot pack more transistors into a tiny chip," Thomas Hartung, a researcher at JRSU and one of the study's authors, said in a press release. But the brain is wired completely differently. It has about 100 billion neurons linked through over 10-15 connection points. It's an enormous power difference compared to our current technology. Machines are faster than human brains at doing simple calculations like math, but human brains are better at handling complex information. Human brains are good at working with less information and dealing with uncertainty. They can process things one at a time or all at once, while machines can only do one thing at a time. Human brains are also better than machines at making decisions about large and complicated situations. As a comparison of the computing power of the human brain and silicon computers, human brain can perform up to 20 quadrillion calculations per second. Although it is not as powerful as the fastest supercomputer in the world as of March 2023, which is Fugaku in Japan, human brains are more energy efficient. For example, as of 2022, the Fugaku supercomputer, which has a computing power of 442 quadrillion calculations per second, needs 28 megawatts of power to operate. If we assume a linear relationship between computing power and energy consumption, performing the same amount of calculations that the human brain can perform per second would require around 663 kilowatts of power, which is equivalent to driving a Tesla 2,583 miles, or 4,156 kilometers. Our human brains can perform the same amount of calculations with the energy from just a burger. When it comes to learning, living things need fewer examples than machines to understand things. For instance, humans can learn a simple same versus different tasks with just around 10 examples. Even simple animals like honeybees can learn with just about 1,000 examples. However, machines need more than millions of examples to learn the same task. This means that living things are much better at learning from fewer examples than machines. This means that humans are over 1 million times better at using fewer data to learn things compared to modern machines. And that is why scientists are going to create computers using human brain cells. Scientists have high hopes for biological computing as an alternative to silicon-based computing. It has the potential to advance computing speed, processing power, data efficiency, and storage capabilities with less energy needed. However, research in this area was in its early stages, with most focusing on using DNA to store digital data. A recent study by Kagan et al. Introduced the concept of synthetic biological intelligence, SBI, which uses synthetic biology to create intelligent systems through brain-directed computing. However, they only used simple cell cultures as a proof concept, which are not as complex as the brain. Johns Hopkins scientists have coined the term organoid intelligence, OI, to describe a new field aiming to use 3D human brain cell cultures, brain organoids, to compute input. Brain organoids are superior to traditional 2D cultures as they replicate organ histoarchitecture and functionality more closely. However, it requires significant advances in interfacing brain cell cultures and computers to harness the computing capacity of these organoids. Scientists envision using biofeedback to train organoids with increasingly complex sensory inputs and output opportunities. They plan to interface the brain organoids with computers, sensors, and machine interfaces to facilitate supervised learning. The approach of OI complements A, where computers aim to perform tasks done by brains. OI research will explore how a 3D brain cell culture can be made more computer-like. A recent study done by Kagan et al. Embedded cortical neurons in a simulated game environment, where the cultures quickly learn to display goal-directed behavior. Similarly, the new chip project aims to grow layered networks of brain stem cells on microchips, while the human brain project models virtual input brain, output machine model. Previously, researchers merged the biological and synthetic to train brain cells how to play Pong, a proof of concept conducted by some of the same scientists involved in this endeavor. The dish brain system was developed by researchers as a brain-computer interface, supplying neurons with simple electrical sensory input and feedback that allowed them to learn the game. But the new report shows far-reaching potential beyond teaching cells to play video games. Brain organoids, for example, could have medical implications. According to the authors, OI research will enable the investigation of inter-individual, neurodevelopmental, and neurodegenerative problems, as well as change drug testing research. Suppose a patient has a rare genetic disease affecting their liver, and traditional drug testing methods have not been successful in finding an effective treatment. With the help of organoid intelligence, researchers can take a small sample of the patient's liver cells and use them to create liver organoids in the lab. By testing various drugs on these organoids, researchers can determine which drugs are most effective in treating the patient's specific disease. This personalized approach can lead to better treatment outcomes with fewer negative side effects, as the drugs tested are tailored to the patient's unique biology. On the other hand, there are ethical considerations. Making a human brain model that can learn and respond brings up ethical questions. Brain organoid research has raised concerns about creating entities that may be conscious and feel pain. These questions will become more significant as OI research advances. However, the technology is not yet ready for immediate use. Nevertheless, the scientists view these publications as a starting point for future research. Although this technology is not yet ready for immediate use, scientists are on the verge of creating supercomputers with human brains that have enormous power. But how will they achieve this? We'll create new cells by copying someone's brain cells or farm humans for computing power. Could this lead us down the path to the beginning of the Matrix? So, it's a topic for another video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. And don't forget to hit the like button.